Hello my fellow dollies. My name is Lily, and does anyone remember a couple of years ago when I reviewed Poppy Playtime? Poppy Playtime is an indie horror game that takes place in an abandoned toy factory. You play as someone who used to work there to find out what happened to the rest of your co-workers. When the game first came out, it received mixed reviews from critics. Some liked it while others didn't. When the third chapter came out, I was skeptical due to how dodgy mob entertainment tend to be behind the scenes. Curiosity killed the catnap though, and thus I checked it out. And to my surprise, it was actually a huge improvement. For once, there were scenes that actually made you feel constantly unsafe. There were plenty of new characters too. Characters such as Catnap, Mr. Light, and DogDay, aka the main canine for this video. Like a lot of people, I love DogDay. Ever since his debut, I always thought he was an interesting character. In fact, he's one of the most popular characters in the fandom. So today, I'm going to be talking about why I love DogDay as a character. Before I continue though, I want to give you all this disclaimer. Due to not having the game myself yet, I had to screen record a lot of stuff from other YouTube videos. Let me make this clear. I won't claim ownership to any of the footage used in this video. I'll even show you the channel who owns the footage so you can support them too. First, who's DogDay? DogDay is a smiling critter. Smiling critters are 8 different coloured stuffed animals. You would basically pull their tail and they'd release their respective scent from their mouths. As I already mentioned, DogDay is one of them. In fact, he's the leader of the pack. As hinted at by his name, DogDay is, well, a dog. An orange dog with a sun pendant. According to his bio, DogDay displays a sunny and positive personality. The type of companion who could brighten up the entire room. He was the character known for helping his friends see the bright side of life. His scent is vanilla. I want you to analyse his look. Notice how his edges are round, particularly his head. Well, if you've ever heard of shape language, you'll know that circles or round edges are used to display innocence. This is a clever design choice for DogDay in my opinion. He's also orange and has a sun for a pendant. His colour palette and theme represent his outgoing and cheerful personality. In the cartoon, you actually see him assuring his friends even though he's scared too. This shows that he'll do anything to keep them going no matter what. This is also hinted at during his cardboard cutout encounter. But I'll get to that in a bit. I almost forgot this, but look at his rendered pose. Notice how all his limbs, mainly his arms, are outstretched with a happy smile. This shows how enthusiastic and cheerful he is. Remember, posing and body language is the key to knowing your character's personality. DogDay also has the tendency to act like an actual dog. For example, in the opening cartoon and even some art I found, he is shown wagging his tail.
All winds blow away.
Even his own house is almost shaped like a kennel and even decorated with bones. One YouTuber who's known for writing smiling critter fan episodes even depicted him as having a dog-themed TV with his own ears. I wouldn't be surprised if his toilet was the squatting kind, with the tank looking like those red gutters you find in America? This is why I don't watch Gacha cringe comps anymore, because the content in those comps have made me feel stupid. Now let's move on to his role in the chapter. We first see DogDay in the opening intro for the Smiling Critters cartoon. The first thing we ever see him do is grab Catnap's tail to transition the scene to the title card. Remember that. After the song, we cut to DogDay's house where he and the Smiling Critters are sleeping over. They can't sleep due to the wind being too loud. So DogDay, the only one on the sofa, assures them that everything will be okay, and that all winds blow away eventually.
We'll be okay, guys. I promise. All winds blow away. Eventually.
Suddenly, there's a knock at the door, and letting himself in is Catnap. What, did DogDay give him his key? Anyway, either Catnap was walking at night and he decided to check up on the others, or he was just hunting for them, perhaps foreshadowing the events of the game. Either way, he was drawn to DogDay's house, and after everyone begs for his help, although admittedly we only saw around 4 do this.
Please, help us go to sleep, Catnap!
We need it, Catnap!
Please help us!
Sleep, sleep, sleep!
Catnap breathes out his sleeping gas. At least that was what the show wanted us to believe. And everyone goes crazy, even DogDay. Then there's a static jump cut to all the smiling critters sleeping, all except for Catnap, who just sits there staring at us. I want you to notice how DogDay is positioned. His arms are outwards and his legs are covered up by his own blanket. Intentional or not, that's some foreshadowing right there. A little later on in the chapter, we arrive at Playcare. In the centre of the Playcare is high ground with statues of the smiling critters on top. All but Catnap, who's been knocked down due to his controversial spray. If you approach the high ground closer, you'll notice different bioplaques stuck around it. One themed for each smiling critter with their own introduction audio. DogDay says fetch. That's his introduction. DogDay says fetch.
DogDay says fetch!
Again, his voice line is dog themed, which is quite funny. Until later on in the game. Fast forward to later on in the game anyway. We're now in the unsafe playhouse. And it gets unsafe once you reach Bobby Bearhug's cutout. A random smiling critter plushie will crawl out from a hole in the wall. To stop it from attacking you, simply scare it with your flare hand. I mention this because the starting plushie can be random, which means a DogDay plushie could crawl out. I love how the creators depicted them as torn up and raggedy, showing you how old and abandoned they are without directly telling you. That's how you do show don't tell. Now this next bit comes with a trigger warning. Despite Poppy Playtime being popular with kids, this next scene depicts decapitation and gore, so be wary if you can't handle it. Once we've made it past the possessed critters, we find ourselves in an area with lots of cells and cages. We hear a voice on our left, so we turn to that direction to inspect. It's DogDay. He's inside an open cell, taller than we last saw him, hooked to chains. His legs are missing, and he speaks as if he's tired and drained from whatever he went through. Probably because of blood loss. The moment we're in his view, DogDay refers to us as Poppy's Angel. Given how he was the leader of the smiling critters, perhaps word got to him that we had come to save everyone. However, there's nothing left to save in Playcare. He even admits that not even himself can be saved, since it's already too late for him.
You're Poppy's angel. Come to save us. Nothing left to save. Not here.
According to what he witnessed, the plushies we had to avoid follow Catnap around. And in return, they're fed. He then goes on to explain how they feed, which is so squeamish I can't even explain.
They want nothing more than to crawl beneath your skin and eat away at you bit by little bit. Fill what feels empty inside themselves.
Those who refuse to obey Catnap have the same fate as DogDay. Catnap basically worships the prototype as his god. Everyone tried to avoid the prototype, but DogDay was captured. And he never saw the rest of his friends again.
We tried to fight it. The prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters.
So here he is, chained up and isolated with his lower section gone. Despite the tragedy and horror, he sees good in us. He predicted that the future will eventually be bright and sunny again. All we have to do is end it all, end the mess that started thanks to the hour of joy.
Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. You and Poppy could fix this. End this madness. The torment.
Suddenly, the possessed critters crawl out from tunnels. And you can just hear the fear in his voice once they arrive to finish the deed.
Oh no. Oh no.
He doesn't say this, but the tone when he says "oh no" makes him sound like he's saying, "They're going to take control of me so I can cut off the angel's wings. Without an angel, we can't be saved." The critters then enter his body through his lower section, because this isn't Fed Fancier Misk. Instead of begging us to set him free, however, he pleads for us to leave and run. With the creepy music, the critters squirming inside him, the unnerving scenery, and of course his scream of agony, it makes it a very uncomfortable watch.
Leave me. Please. Just go. Run. Run.
Once everyone's packed in, DogDay starts to make choking sounds as he breaks free from his own chains. With his only arms, the possessed DogDay crawls out of his cell and gives chase. We leave through a hole in the floor that takes us into a maze of squishy walls. With the claustrophobic setting and DogDay now after us, this is actually a terrifying chase sequence. Not only do we hear every thump from DogDay's hands as he chases us, but we can still hear him choking. Is he still alive during this procedure? That's a horrible thing to imagine. We're at least able to escape DogDay by bouncing above a gap to the other side. The door closes down on him, and the last we ever hear of him, for now, is this. It's a scream of either anger, sadness, or fear. Perhaps a mix of all three. And that's it. We don't know what his fate is. Can he only roam around in this dream called prison? Will he live on the remains of whatever else he can find? Or will he surrender to defeat and accept the fact that he tried to protect his gang, but couldn't in the end, therefore starving to death so he can join them? Can he even starve? Can he even sleep? Makes me shudder just thinking about it. As a final kick to the teeth, we not long after come across one last DogDay appearance. It's his cardboard cutout. Like any cardboard cutout, press the button and the character will talk. First time, he says his iconic introduction. DogDay says fetch.
DogDay says fetch.
Second time, he cheers with excitement. Go! Go as far as you can!
Go, go, as far as you can.
The third time, he asks why we're just standing there.
Why are you just standing there?
On the fourth time, he suddenly drops a childish tone and informs us in a serious voice. You can't be here. You can't stay.
You can't be here. You can't stay.
On the final time, you suddenly hear him screaming. And it goes on for longer than it should. Most, if not all, cutouts end with a scream with static. But this is the most unbearable to hear due to the indication behind it. It's been hinted that every smiling critter cutout is recalling all their deaths during the hour of joy. This is how I think DogDay met his end. He and the other smiling critters were hiding in the playhouse from Catnap. However, Catnap finds them and begins chase. When they reach the wormhole slide, DogDay attempts to block off Catnap. The two phrases, DogDay says fetch and go as far as you can, indicate that he wanted the gang to leave while they still can. Despite the situation, they refuse to leave, which prompts DogDay to ask why they're just standing there. One of them, probably Bobby Bearhug, explains that they won't leave without him, and even pleads for him to come with them. I say this because Bobby's voice lines indicate that she's expressing her love to a critter. Not romantically, thank God. She's crazy about them, but also feels lost without them.
I love you to the moon and back. I'm crazy about you. I'm lost without you.
Sure, she could be talking to us since we used to work at Playtime Co., but I'm seeing these cutouts in the past tense, which is why I think she was actually pleading with DogDay to come with them.
Please, take me with you this time. You won't leave me, will you?
DogDay, however, refuses, stating that they can't stay. Suddenly, Catnap is able to reach his paw through a gap DogDay couldn't cover up, and drags him out of the hiding spot. Unable to ignore his distant screams of agony, the rest of the smiling critters eventually leave through the wormhole. I know it's unbearable to hear, but pay attention to the hidden audio when DogDay is screaming. We hear the sound of something snapping followed by faint thumps. It should be no surprise to anyone what Catnap did to him. But why do we feel bad for him? Why do we care about this fictional character so much? What makes him a likable canine? Well, it's his personality. In fact, his personality helps keep the story going. DogDay is a cheerful and loyal smiling critter. Whenever his friends are feeling down, he helps keep them going. He even shows this behaviour many times during the game, comforting them during the windstorm, letting them escape first while he stays behind to keep Catnap at bay, and even sacrificing himself so we can have a running head start. I was skeptical back when the chapter was still in development, but eventually I felt relieved at what we really got. I'd say that characters like DogDay actually saved Chapter 3, and I'm still sad that the animators aren't getting paid enough for this. I still don't trust the two directors, and I still haven't gotten over their past actions. But perhaps they're at least learning from their mistakes when it comes to making horror. Hopefully, Chapter 4 is just as scary. We'll just have to wait and see. And that's why I love DogDay as a character. Before I leave, let me tell you what's coming up on my channel. I'm currently working on the second chapter for Sour Smiles, and I only have 2 chapters left of A Joyful Night Out. I'm even thinking of making a tutorial video on how to make an autistic OC someday. I even have 5 requests which I hope to get done and dusted. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and toodle chip!